Hello everyone. So this is geography session 2, right? So in this particular session, we'll be talking about climate and vegetation. And we're talking about climate and vegetation in detail. We'll be covering some GC Leong stuff also. We'll be seeing some stuff related to GC Leong, and we'll cover and this climate and vegetation, the latitudinal and longitudinal extent, how they happen, what happens in different areas. We'll be doing that. So let's start. So first of all, 0 degree to 10 degree north, and it's not only 0 degree to 10 degree north, 0 degree to 10 degree north as well as south. You have these tropical rainforests. So if you want to see it, I will just show you. So see these areas, these hot, wet equatorial region, and this is GC Leong. So you can see even in Bogota, Bogota is the capital of Colombia. These areas of Brazil and other countries, adjoining countries. Apart from that, these areas which are around 10 degree north and south. So these areas are hot, wet equatorial region where you have rainfall all around the year. Every day you'll be having rainfall, right? So the climate is very humid in nature. So this is like you can go through these GC Leong chapter, which is of part 2, if I'm not wrong. So cloudiness is there, heavy precipitation is there, and there is a great uniformity of temperature. It's not like there will be summer or winter. There is a great uniformity of temperature even in these areas like Singapore, Indonesia, Java, Sumatra, all these regions, right? So 0 to 10 degree north and south. So I will just go through that particular picture again. But you have to keep in mind. So this area we are talking about 0 to 10 degree north as well as south. 25 to 30 degrees Celsius temperature is there. Rainfall is between 160 to 350 centimeter. Amazon, Congo, Indonesia, Malaysia. These are the areas. Then the evergreen hardwood forest like ebony, mahogany, rosewood. These are the trees which are grown in tropical rainforest. Epiphytes. Epiphytes are those plants which grow on other plants. So all these things are there in tropical rainforest. Now let's again go back to the slide and to the notes, and we'll be seeing this. We'll be seeing this in a faster manner, and we'll be going from east to west. What does it mean? I will just tell you. So we have seen 0 to 10 degree north and south. So we'll talk about now 10 degree to 30 degree north and south. 10 degree, and it's not like it's always north and south. We'll just see later on that for Laurentian climate. For Laurentian climate, it's only north. Even for like Taiga climate, it's only north. It's not. There's no south there. So 10 to 30 degree north as well as south, you have tropical deciduous forest or tropical monsoon climate. What you have? You have tropical monsoon climate for these regions, right? So we have just seen equatorial. So let's close this. So yes, we're talking about this tropical monsoon or marine climate. For which region? For 10 degree to 30 degree north as well as south. So let's see this region. So tropical monsoon or tropical marine. So these are the areas. India, we know, even portions of China, and we're talking about eastern margin here. See, these are the eastern margin of the continents. Madagascar whole, even these areas of Brazil, the eastern margin, part of Mexico, whole Caribbean island, northern part of what do you say, Southern America. These are having tropical monsoon and marine climate. So what are the characteristics? We'll be just seeing the characteristics. So again, you know, seasonal reversal of winds happen in tropical monsoon or marine climate, and low pressure region is created. South, even in Australia, the region around the northern portion of Australia, northern and some northeast portion, cranes, these areas are having tropical monsoon and marine climate. So let's try to see some properties of these regions. What are the properties of these tropical monsoon and marine climate? And we'll be going from east to west. So yes, tropical deciduous forests, they're grown in tropical monsoon or marine climate. Distinct wet and dry season they have. Again, 10 to 25 or 30 degree north as well as south. 50 to 300 centimeter rain happens in summer. So rainfall is in summer. And you will see when we'll talk about Mediterranean region. In the case of Mediterranean region, this is important because very rarely rainfall happens in winter in certain areas. But in Mediterranean region, rainfall happens in winter. Rainfall in winter, this is important. You have to remember it. In Mediterranean climate, rainfall happens in winter. And I should be saying Mediterranean climate instead of Mediterranean region. Region is specific region, but Mediterranean climate happens in both northern as well as southern hemisphere. So you're talking about tropical deciduous forest. These are the features. So again, we have seen it's both in northern and southern hemisphere. Reversal of climate happens. Rainfall is in summer. It shed leaves in dry summer. Teak, sal. Again, all the tropical deciduous forest like teak, sal, devdar, eucalyptus, bamboo, all these are grown. Highly dense monsoonal and forest or thorny scrublands. Fine. So we have talked about tropical deciduous forest. Let's move on. And let's again go back to the central latitude. Again, sorry. So we have talked about tropical monsoon and marine. So this central latitude, again, between 10 degree to 30 degree north as well as south, this is the region. 10 degree to 30 degree north as well as south will be having tropical grasslands or savanna, which is also called Sudan climate. It is also called Sudan climate. And what happens in Sudan climate? Uh, just a second. So what happens in Sudan climate? These are very important. Like if you have to understand this, you can go through GC Ling if time permits. So this is also called savanna type of climate. So in this, it is confined within tropics, as we have seen, and it is between equatorial forest and trade wind hot deserts. So equatorial forest is down below. We have seen this is like, let's say 0 degree to 10 degree north. 0 degree to 10 degree north, you have equatorial forest. And again, tropics or trade wind hot desert, it is in the, what do you say, which particular margin? Western margin. So between those regions lie the savanna type of climate. They have distinct dry and wet season, which is also called Sudan climate. We'll see this in detail right now. So what you have to understand here, that between this in is between 10 to, what do you say, 10 degree north to 30 degree north, in the central latitudes, in the central region, tropical grasslands or savanna lies. So this is the area for tropical grasslands or savanna. 10 degree to 30 degree north, Kano, Salisbury, these are the areas of Africa. Campos, Lalanos, these are the areas again. These are the grasslands. These are the means what do you say? Tropical grasslands, right? These are the tropical grasslands. So you have to also remember tropical grasslands as well as temperate grasslands. Temperate grasslands are prairies, steppes, which are the wheat bowl of the world. So those are temperate grasslands. Those are not tropical grasslands. These areas which we are talking about right now, they are tropical grasslands, which are also called savanna and which has Sudan kind of climate. So Campos, Lalanos. So these are what they are. They are tropical grasslands. So as you can see, the region is very confined. These are the regions for savanna kind of climate. These are the areas for tropical grasslands. Lalanos, Campos, Kano, Salisbury. These are the areas. Cool. So now, if you have to see some more features, shall we see some more features? We can. So 10 degree to 30 degree north as well as south. Rainfall is between 50 to 150 centimeter. Semi-arid away from the onshore trade winds. And these are the areas. In Brazil, Campos is there. In Venezuela, Lalanos is there. And these are thick grasses. In these areas, lions are found because lions are found in grasslands. So in these areas also, you can find lions. Okay? And that's it. We don't need to go too deep into detail. What you have to understand is the specific features. Like in Mediterranean climate, rainfall is in winter. They are the orchards of the world. Like in temperate grasslands, they are the grain bowl of the world, granaries of the world. So these are the features. And what are the latitude? So we were talking from eastern to western. So we have done tropical grassland. Let's go to the tropical deserts. So again, tropical desert will be lying between 10 to 30 degree north as well as south. So this is 10 to 30 degree north as well as south. Now, if you want to see this, let's see this region. We have seen savanna. So these are the areas. These are the hot desert and mid-latitude deserts of the world. And this is like you will see mostly it will lie on the western margin of the continent. There are exceptions also, Mojave Desert. So there is a cold current, Californian current, which passes through it. So they have a desiccating effect. These cold currents, they have a desiccating effect. So that's why you will see these deserts on the western margins of the continent. Atacama is there, Peruvian current is flowing. See, Patagonian, it's not on the western margin, it's actually on the eastern margin, but yeah, these exceptions will be there. So these are the mid-latitude deserts, and these are the hot deserts on the western frontier. See, Namib is there, Venezuela current is passing. Remember these currents, important. Kalahari is there, Sahara, Canaries current, very famous current, very famous cold current. And again, all these Turkestan, Gobi Desert, and Australia. This is a big desert. See, you remember that even though Australia is so big, it's very sparsely populated, and people are generally living on these coasts. Melbourne, Adelaide, all these, Hobart, all these are on these areas because the western part of this area, even the central portion of Australia, has big deserts, right? So that's why. So we have talked about this, and so this is the 10 to 30 degree north and south western margin. Let's see some more features of it. So tropical desert, 20 to 30 degree or 10 to 30 degree north, offshore trade winds, and they have a desiccating effect. Sahara, Namib, Kalahari, Mojave, right? Xerophytic, tap roots, and continental desert. That's it. Fine. So we have dealt. What you can say? We have dealt with most of the portion. We can just go back and see that thing again because these are very important slides. So these are very important. So even if you don't get time, if you have GC Leong, just go through these pictures. Just have a look at these pictures. Even when you read these topics, now you will realize that it is written like a story. You can just go through it like a story. So again, Californian, Mojave, Atacama, Peruvian, Namib, Venezuela, Sahara, Canaries Current, Western Australia Current, Australia, and here also Iranian, Kashgar, Turkestan, Gobi Desert, all these are there. Great, great that you know it. Now let's close it. Now let's move forward. So we have talked about 10 to 30 degree north and south. Let's move up. Let's move up in the eastern side. So again, 30 degree north to 45 degree north as well as south again. So here it will be 30 to 45 degree north as well as south. You have temperate monsoon. So this earlier you had tropical monsoon. Now you will be having temperate monsoon or China type of climate, right? So this area 30 to 45 degree north and south. So Mediterranean region we'll talk about later on. Temperate grassland also we'll talk about later on. First of all, let's talk about China type of climate. So this is the China type of climate. Regions with warm temperate eastern margin climate. So they can also say this is warm temperate eastern margin climate or China type of climate. See, don't get confused by the name that it is China type of climate. So it will be only in China. You can see here, this kind of climate is there in US also, in the coast of Miami, here on the Argentina part also, Pampero, Bergwind, South Africa, here on the Sydney coast also. So all these regions will be having China type of climate. Now, what are the specific features of China type of climate? Let's see that. So tropical deciduous we have seen, temperate monsoonal or China type of climate. So again, tropical cyclones are associated with it since these are generally located on the eastern coast, and 24 to 25 degrees Celsius favor the formation of tropical cyclones. When we'll talk about tropical cyclone, eye of a tropical cyclone and all those things, so you will realize that 24 to 27 degrees Celsius favor the formation of tropical cyclones. Favor the formation of tropical cyclones. So again, what happens here? And rainfall is in summer. Most of the time, rainfall is in summer. Mediterranean is an exception. Southeast China, South Japan, South Korea, even the areas of Argentina, and we have seen Australia portion also, Gulf of Mexico. Rainfall is between 75 to 175 centimeter. All these things. Mulberry is grown there. So these are the areas. Again, what you have to understand is this China type of climate is not confined to China only. It's in both north and south region between 30 to 45 degree roughly. It's not a fixed thing. 30 to 45 degree north and south. Cool. So we have done China, Bergwind, Pampero, hurricane track, tornado, Miami, Nanking. Nanking massacre is very famous. You can always go, and if you love world history, you can also read about Nanking massacre. That's southerly buster, Sydney and all those. Fine. Let's not waste time. Let's talk about other areas. So temperate monsoonal and China type of climate. In the mid, between 30 degree to around almost 55 to 60 degree, you have temperate grasslands or prairies. Different temperate grasslands, prairies, steppes, pampas, velds. You have different temperate grasslands, which are wheat bowl of the world, which are granaries of the world. So many things are associated to them, or so many names are given to them, wheat bowl of the world. So this is a big region, this temperate grassland region, right? If you want to see something more about temperate grasslands, Mediterranean later on, these are the temperate grasslands, right? So steppes you can see in portions of Asia and Europe. Pretoria, Veld is there in South Africa, Pampas is in Argentina. And you can see here these temperate grasslands. Generally, we have seen hot desert. They were associated with cold currents. These temperate grasslands, they are associated with warm ocean currents. Chinook winds is there. Again, remember, this is important, this Chinook wind. They generally ask, it flows in which area, which continent. So North America, prairies, Winnipeg, and here Downs is there in Australia. So Canterbury grassland is there in the portion of New Zealand. So that's it. So these are the areas you need to remember these names. Pampas is where in Argentina, Wales is where in South Africa or in Africa in general. Downs is in Australia. So all these steppes is in Asia and Europe. So these are the areas of temperate grasslands, which are also the wheat bowl of the world. Let's talk more about them. Let's talk more about the properties. So again, 40 to 55 degree north, and again, roughly, it can even extend from 30 to 55, 60 degree north. Rainfall is 25 to 65 centimeter, not too much rainfall. To summer, 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Winter is cold, prairies, pampas, velds, pustas, steppes, downs. We have seen this. Short and nutritious grass, pure grasslands, extensive mechanized. Alfalfa is also associated with this. Sorry. Wheat and maize, wheat baskets, granaries of the world. These are the terms associated with them. Now let's move on and let's talk about other areas. So we'll talk again. We have on the central, what do you say? We are in the central region. So we'll go to the western part now, western margins of the continents, Mediterranean climate. Again, a very important Mediterranean climate. Questions are asked here. So rainfall, as we have discussed, it is in winter. Orchards of the world, fruits, vegetables, or viticulture and all those things, grape cultivation. This happens on a large scale in Mediterranean, right? And let's see the Mediterranean regions. And it can have it. The region is 30 to 45 degree, both north and south on the western margin. Okay, so we have already done temperate grassland. So let's cross it out so that things become easier and things become smaller. Eastern margin also we have done. Okay, dude. Now, so we are talking about Mediterranean region. So here again, these are the terms which are important. As you can see, Mediterranean region, if we talk about in geographical terms, this is confined to this regions only. But Mediterranean climate is not only confined to these areas, Strait of Gibraltar, Spain, and all those regions, even northern part of what do you say, Algeria, Africa, Sirocco, Mistral. So these words you have to understand. These are the winds. And Cape Town, even in the portion of South Africa, you have Mediterranean region. Some portions of Chile, you have Mediterranean region. Even some portion of Australia, you have Mediterranean region. So this you have to understand. Here also, some portion of what do you say, USA, you have Mediterranean region. So you have to remember this. Rainfall is in winter. They are the orchards of the world. Shall we see something more about them? That's it. And there's a shifting of pressure belts which happen as the ITCZ or what do you say, tropical continent, or what do you say, intertropical convergence zones that shifts. So there is a shifting of pressure belts. Summer is there, winter, very low temperature, and the rainfall is also there in winter. This is very important. And that's it. Orchards of the world. So viticulture, grape cultivation, wine cultivation, it is very famous for that, this Mediterranean region. Let's move ahead. Let's not waste too much of a time because we're talking from the perspective of prelims, dude, and go through these points. If time permits, also have a look at GC Leong. Very interesting portion. So again, we have talked about the Mediterranean. Let's come to the eastern margin, Laurentian type. This is very important, which what we are going to discuss now. 45 degree to 60 degree, but it is confined to north. It is not in south. It is confined to north, this Laurentian climate. So you will just see it right now. Uh, Mediterranean also we have done, right? So again, this is British climate we'll do later on. This is cool temperate eastern margin. It is also called cool temperate eastern margin or Laurentian climate. So what is the basic feature of cool temperate, what do you say? Cool temperate eastern margin? That this is confined to northern region. As you can see, there is nothing here on the southern region. So New York, all these areas, even portions of Canada and USA, Peking. See, China is very versatile when it comes to climatic regions. It has so many climatic regions. Very must be a very interesting place to visit. Not now, but yeah. So China, so these areas, so this is the Laurentian, this is witnessing Laurentian climate, and here portions of US and Canada is also witnessing. The important thing is confined to northern region. Let's see some more properties of this particular region. So Laurentian climate, 45 to 60 degree north, only northern hemisphere. You have to remember this. And 50 to 20 centimeter rainfall. Temperate cyclone is associated with this region. In Canadian portion, even in northeast China, and some portion of Japan and Korea, you have this pine, fir, spruce, all these things are grown here. Great Lakes and Sea of Japan, fine, fine, fine. Again, we don't need to do too much PhD here. We just need to know the basic things which we know now. 45 to 60 degree north, only north, not south, portions of Canada, portions of China, all these things. Cool. And now let's move back and let's see the other portions in a faster manner. We have devoted too much time here. Temperate deciduous or British type climate, very famous or very romantic kind of climate. Everything is in moderation here. Best part is rainfall can come anytime. If you follow tennis, you know about Wimbledon. You must have seen in Wimbledon, rain comes for 10 minutes, it rains, and then it goes, and then again it comes. So it has a very romantic kind of a climate, very moderate climate, but rain can happen any time of the year. And 45 to 60 degree, again, British type climate does not mean in the northern region only. It covers both northern as well as southern region. And 50 to 120 centimeter. Westerlies and temperate cyclones are associated there. And fine, 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 fine. Now, if we see this, why I said fine, 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 because again, fine, dude, we don't need to go too deep into detail. We need to see the regions. These are important. Those are important. So this is cool temperate western margin. So again, see the areas of England or the areas of these areas, they have British type of climate. Even the area of Canada, this particular portion, they have British type of climate. some portions of Chile and Argentina, they also have British type of climate. Even in New Zealand and in Hobart of Australia, you have this British type of climate. Cool, dude. What else? So we have seen British type of climate, taiga and tundra. Taiga is again confined to, just like Laurentian, taiga is only confined to northern regions. It is not there in the southern region. This you have to understand. Only confined to northern regions between 60° north to 70° north, and above that you have tundra. That's it. That's it. That's it. Tundra, we know extreme cold temperature, and tundra is there in both north and south. So what else? We'll keep until here only. So these were the important features which you had to remember. So in taiga, and taiga is known for largest biome of the world, this particular region. Again, this is not in southern hemisphere, which you have to remember, this taiga region. Alaska, Canada, Russia, Scandinavia, these are the regions which witness taiga type of climate. So softwood needed, paper and pulp industry is grown there, which is like Canada is a major region for this. 25 to 100 centimeter temperate cyclones and all these things. Fine, fine, fine. So what are the things which we have seen? Tundra, there is a biome and there's permafrost, too much ice, 0 to 10 degrees Celsius isothermals. Again, we are going too much into detail. So these are the basic portions. What are the things which you have to remember is you have to go through these portions again and again, watch these regions again and again. If time permits, go through those GC Leong chapters and it will help you a lot. Fine, the basic or the most important points were, we have discussed it, that in Mediterranean, rainfall is in winter. They are the orchards of the world. Temperate grasslands, they are the granaries of the world. And the basic features associated with savannas, where are those areas? British type of climate, not only confined to northern regions. Mediterranean, again, happens in both north and south. Laurentian, only north. Taiga, only north. So these are the points which you have to keep in mind. And you can go through these, these portions of video again and again to have a good look at it. This is very important from both prelims as well as mains perspective. So that's it. And we have devoted too much of a time. So take care, be blessed. Bye-bye.